lot of small businesses, they feel like they are paying too much tax, more than they should be. Maybe you are one of them. If you are one of them, stay tuned and join me today as we talk about 7 tax hacks that you can apply in your own business and save huge amount of money in terms of your tax bill. So today, as I break down these 7 items, starting with the first 2 that applies to either micro businesses or small businesses, as well as deductions that can be applied to any business, please try and see how you can be able to apply this. Together with your tax advisor, sit down and ask if you qualify for any one of these or for all of them, and start applying them in your business like today. Please note that this video is just for educational purposes. I'm not giving this video as tax advice. If you need tax advice, you are welcome to contact us in the comment section below. We can have a look at your personal and business tax affairs, and we can give you a customized solution based on your current situation. So without wasting time, let's get into the first tax hack that you should know about. So if you have heard about the term small business corporation, what is a small business corporation? Well, the next time you go to see your accountant or your tax advisor, ask them, do I qualify as a small business corporation? Why? Because this is definitely a game changer. So it is meant for businesses that has got a revenue from 0 up to 20 million. And also, if it meets other requirements that are set up in the tax law, then you may be able to save quite a lot of money, because the small business corporation, they've got some rates that grows as the business profit grows as well. So as your business is small, you don't have to pay a lot of tax. In fact, to be specific, if your profit is less than 95,750, you don't pay any tax. And as soon as it starts going from 95,750 per year, then you start paying tax, but in very small rates that starts to grow as you grow as well. So this is a very big lifesaver for those people who fall into this category. I am going to do a dedicated video which is going to look into your business with regards to seeing if it does qualify as a small business corporation or not. The reason why I'm going to do that is because a large number of businesses fall within this range of 0 to 20 million revenue. So it is very important for me to be assisting these businesses so that they can be able to save as much as possible. The second tax hack that you need to know about is what we call the turnover tax system. The turnover tax system, it is a system that can be implemented by businesses with a revenue of 0 to 1 million. So these businesses are called the micro businesses. There is also other advantages that comes with being a person who's using the turnover tax system. Once you choose to use this system, the income tax, the capital gains, the provisional tax immediately falls away, including the employee's tax. So now you calculate your tax based on turnover at ultra low rates. And if you qualify for this, you will find that for quite a lot of money and a lot of profit that you make, it will be below the bracket of you paying tax. Here is a thing to note. The small business corporation that we mentioned earlier versus the turnover tax system. You choose one, and once you choose one, you're supposed to work with that one only. The turnover tax does not make use of any deductions. In other words, it's a simplified system that reduces a lot of your admin work, which means you don't have to deduct expenses, you don't have to keep a record of your expenses, but you do have to keep a record of your turnover, of the amount that you have received as turnover. With regards to the small business corporation, it's more based on the profit that you make after deducting the expenses. So in other words, you need to have proper record keeping for you to use the small business corporation system. Each and every one of the two has got its own advantages. But one thing that I can mention is that a lot of businesses, because they are falling within the range of zero revenue up to 20 million, some of them, the ones which has got a revenue of 1 million or less, might fall within the bracket of the two. So an assessment needs to be done where you can see which one will have a lot of advantage to yourself. Then once you choose the one that will provide a lot of your advantages in your situation, then you can be able to stick with that one. Let's move on to tax hack number 3. Tax hack number 3 is what we call the accelerated depreciation. What is accelerated depreciation? It is a provision which is found in the Act, which helps businesses that are growing, that are acquiring assets. Types of assets that has got the best benefit is the manufacturing assets, solar systems. If you buy such assets, you may be able to deduct the full amount of the cost of the asset in the first year where you bought it, thereby leading to a huge savings, because the wear and tear that you are reducing, it reduces on your profit. As a result, it reduces on the tax that you are going to end up paying. For other assets that does not qualify in the category of manufacturing assets, you could also they could also qualify in the category where they can be depreciated with this accelerated depreciation, where you can depreciate 50% in the first year, 30% in the second year, as well as 20% in the third year. Travel claims. A lot of businesses make use of vehicles. Vehicles may be used to travel from one customer to another, or for visiting suppliers, or sometimes to visit sites, where you are going to visit different sites in your business. If you are one of the people who make use of a vehicle quite a lot for business purposes, please note that the travel claims provision is for you to be able to deduct business expenses from the total travel that you have made. In order for you to do this, SARS requires you to have a SARS compliant logbook. A SARS compliant logbook, in short, is a logbook that shows to and from and reason for travel. Once you have this, then you can be able to have total business travel versus total personal travel. Remember, the section 23B also mentioned that we are not allowed to deduct private expenses that are incurred for personal purposes. This is a very big saving, because you can be able to deduct this travel, reducing your profit, as a result reducing your tax. General expenses. A lot of businesses, business owners know about general expenses that they are supposed to deduct. An extract from the tax law says any expenses that are incurred and paid in the production of income may be deducted to reduce the profit, as a result reducing the tax. Accounting fees, bank charges, travel expenses, marketing costs, all these things may be deducted to reduce your profit. As much as a lot of businesses are aware of this one, not all businesses are utilizing it to the full extent. Some businesses are deducting some expenses, but they are not deducting all expenses. They are not optimizing their tax. It also goes without saying that if you want to deduct all the general expenses that you are incurring in your business, you also need to make sure that you've got proper record keeping. You also need to keep supporting documents, as well as the records of what you have spent and what you have paid for. If you are struggling with this, you may be able to get in touch with Accounting and Tax Hub. Our team may be able to maybe recommend a system that may assist you. It might be in the form of a system, it might be in the form of a recommendation of a method that you can use to make sure that you are accounting for your expenses. At the same time, you are keeping a record of these supporting documents that are required and that are very important in your tax savings. Now let's move on to tax hack number 6. But before we do so, under general expenses, in fact, under all of these expenses that I've just mentioned, please take note of the information that I've just mentioned, that we are not allowed to deduct personal or private expenses when we are deducting these general expenses or whatever the other deductions that we have mentioned before. Tax hack number 6 has got to do with those people who are working from home, like me. If you are a director, an entrepreneur, or a sole trader who has got the privilege of working from home, here is a tax hack for you. If the place that you are using as your office is used exclusively for that purpose, for the office, and you don't have to know, and you calculate the total size of that office versus the total size of the home, you may be eligible to deduct some of your private home expenses from the business. So what do I mean? Things like, for example, the rentals, the electricity, the water, rates, internet expenses, these may be deducted from you can actually calculate this cost, deduct them in the proportion of the size of your office versus the size of your home. This will lead to great savings on your tax. The last tax hack, last but not least, because there are other things that you may do to optimize your tax, but this is just the obvious things that you should not miss, so that you can be able to reduce your tax bill. It's employees' costs. Employees' costs have got 2 benefits. If you give your employees things like, for example, medical aid, provident fund, pension fund, all those things, they reduce your profit because they are going to go as employee costs. So they definitely reduce your profit, they definitely reduce your tax, but that's not all. If you are offering your employees some incentive, like for example medical aid and other things, you are also providing incentives that may help you to be able to attract the best talent. So you are killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You are giving the incentives that are going to make you look as the employer of choice. At the same time, you are also reducing your tax. There are other things that are in the act. I am definitely going to make some other videos. Again, those ones who are joining us for the first time, my name is Gideon. I'm here to save money for the businesses, to make sure that they are compliant, to make sure that they are becoming efficient by the implementation of AI and automation. Again, thanks very much for watching, and see you in the next video.